Hello everyone, thanks for watching Music News, and do me a favour, it's extremely important. I know there's a lot of worldwide issues going on right now, but trust me, please, Music News, subscribe here.
Matt Goss, it's a pleasure to meet you. How
Nice
you
to meet
doing?
you.
All good?
Good, I'm awake now.
You good? Well, you're playing here at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
This weekend we're celebrating 5 years. Music News were there last night. It was absolutely brilliant. Does it feel like a real sort of landmark?
I didn't realise I was actually taking the piss out of you guys with your big bottle of champagne in
funny.
between your legs, actually, which is very fitting because I thought you had your own little. Most people have a little, cocktail, but you had your own bucket of champagne each.
We drink by the bottle.
Which I was very impressed with that. And I'm so happy to see that these are the fellas that we're interviewing today.
We're feeling it a little bit today, but hey, what can you do?
So what was the question?
Does it feel like a real landmark, this 5-year point in Las Vegas?
Well, I've been in Vegas for 6 years. It's actually 5 years at Caesars, so I was started out at the casino, so 6 years in Vegas. But 5 years at Caesars Palace it is a landmark to me. It's half a decade, and it's a tough place to have a show that lasts that long. And I'm still staying here, and I'm not planning on leaving Caesars. So for me, I'm very, very proud that the show has managed to entertain people. As you saw last night, it's a lot more cheeky than people think, and it's a lot of talent that's come to see the show, which is good. And I'm just very, very proud of the diversity of music and all the arrangements. So it is a very big deal for me. I'm very proud of it, but it makes me want to get to the next 5 years.
Absolutely. I mean, what was the best thing about Las Vegas for you?
I think as a performer, it teaches you that you can't sit back on your laurels. You got every night they're there because they either know you or they don't know you, but they've read the reviews. And they're there to be entertained. So you can't sit back and dial in a performance. You really have to bring it every night, and I think it teaches you a lot about composure on stage. If somebody's giving you shit in the audience in a good way, as I say, don't mess with a man with a microphone. It's like I get to turn that into my show.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that anything that happens in Vegas you can turn into your show. Whereas when you play other bigger venues, you sing the music and it's great. I love it. But I think it just teaches you composure and to think on your feet.
Definitely, because it's quite an intimate show. You get quite involved, literally into the crowd, as you were last night.
Yeah.
Off the cuff comments. It's that sort of the part that you really enjoy as well.
Is that?
You said that you sort of learned, sort of Frank Sinatra way. Sort of that's how the old Rat Pack sort of style.
It was funny because we had Jerry Lewis. A month ago, and I really love that guy. And he's such a sweet man, and his family, his beautiful wife, and his daughter, such lovely people. But he was part of the Rat Pack, and I've had many celebrities come to my room. It touched me deeply when he came because him and his friends set the standard for us. And he gave me some advice, and he was just very, very. I said, thanks for staying the whole 2 hours, Joe. And he goes, listen, I do 2 hours even if they're heavy. It's very self-deprecating, very, very easygoing, and you just learn a lot from those guys. So, he told me that him, Simon, Frank all spent time in that room. And Dean, obviously, just it's amazing to be in the oldest showroom left at Caesars Palace. It's down my room. It's amazing, amazing thing to have under your belt.
Yes, it's definitely a special vibe in that place as well, a great place. And the show, you've obviously travelled to London. I mean, the last performances, always good memories when you come back?
I love coming home. Whenever I come home, it amazes me how much energy and emotion, and I love obviously seeing my mates. But I come back to London, and I had the most amazing shows. Went up north finally this time as well. Went to Nottingham and Manchester. I loved coming out with this time. I went through to St James Park.
Yeah, yeah.
And my mum passed last year, and I just needed my feet on British soil to remind myself where I was. And I walked around St James Park, and I felt like I was home. It grounded me, and it lets you come back here and feel connected to your homeland.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, your last record, Life You Imagine, sort of sums it up really, playing with a big Hollywood band. Is that sort of the happiest, and is this sort of the happiest you've been on stage?
I think making this album at studios like Capitol Records, Capitol Studios, I think making this album at Capitol Studios, where all the synopsis sessions were done and stuff like that, sitting down and playing on Nat King Cole's piano, 26-piece brass section, horn section. One of the guys actually owned Glenn Miller's mouthpiece. I mean, it's an incredible feeling when I have a video on my phone where a beautiful lady playing the harp, amazing, comes strings and then you pan over to a room full of an orchestra playing a song that you wrote in your home, with Ron Fair producing it, Dan Higgins on the arrangement. It's an incredible experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And you always wear your little clef there?
My treble clef, yeah.
Given by your mum?
Yeah, my mum gave me this. Sometimes I wear it, sometimes if I'm in a place where it's a bit rowdy, I'll keep it on because I don't want to lose it. But it really just doing two things: tying up my bow tie settles me, and then I always put the treble clef from mum. And it just, again, I am my mother's son. I'm a London born in Newcastle, but I'm my mother's son, and it's I'm starting to come into a place now where I realise that she's not there, and it's not as traumatic for me anymore, but it's still very, very deep rooted.
Yeah,
and I'm still working out the process, but there'll be times where I'll be on stage and I'll be singing to her. So.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be listening as well.
Yeah.
And on stage, I mean, do you feel sort of pressure? Do you get nervous? I mean, you've been playing this way for so long now, doing this show. But do you get nervous before getting on?
I have to be honest, I wish I could say I do get nervous anyway, but I never get nervous before a performance. I look forward to it. I love the fact that we don't rehearse, we just go on. And I'm proud of my arrangements. But no, I don't really get nervous. I get excited. I get excited about being on stage, and I'm still in awe that I can go up and sing. And, I've done 700 plus shows just in this round alone. I know that in the next round I'll probably get at least that again.
Yeah.
And for me to be able to sing so regularly, it gives me a sense of peace. And the release that you get, any singer will tell you, the release that you get singing I don't think compares to anything else. There's so much emotion, your lungs are tested. My shows, it's 2 hours long.
Yeah.
It whizzes by, I think, and I'm proud of the show that I've built. And, it seems to work, and people love it.
Absolutely. I mean, we were there last night. It was very enjoyable, very entertaining. I'd recommend it to anyone.
Thank you, mate.
And I mean, coming on from Goss, let's say the early years, playing Wembley Stadium, just chatting before, 15 dates at Wembley Arena. I mean, you played absolutely huge venues, and you were catapulted to success so early. Is that obviously? Do you look back on that as a really good time and mental time, Brossmania?
Yeah. I think there's two bands that have the word mania next to them. That's the Beatles and Beatlemania and Brossmania. That's, to me, the mayhem and mania around that band was whatever anyone thinks about Goss is up to them, but you can't deny it. If you were part of that machine, and a lot of people that looked after us, the bodyguards and the roadies, they know how much fun we got up to. and they know how much fun it was, and it was, and the people that followed that band at the time of their lives, because I see them every week, and they met their husbands and they met their, you know, significant others. It was just, it created a lot of memories that day, and because it was so manic. Everywhere we went, there was helicopters and jets and police and armoured vehicles, and it was completely bonkers.
Madness,
and I think that as a man, listen, I don't, you know, I couldn't make music like that now because it doesn't resonate with me anymore. But when I was 17 years old and I was in the studio, I loved making that record. It's an incredible experience, and I just thought I was making an album. I didn't know what was going to happen to it. It ended up being, I think now it's still the biggest debut record in the history of CBS Records. Amazing record. Every song on that record, whether it's Cat Amongst the Pigeons, Drop the Boy, I Quit, You Know, Be Famous, Are You Nothing, those are songs that are just immediately recognisable still today. And I'm proud that they're my songs, you know? And I get to rework them and put them in the show. And they were all different, you know?
Yeah, no.
So Goss was a great Saturday job for me. You know what I mean? You know, it was a great Saturday job. I learnt the tools of my trade in my Saturday job, which was at happens to be Goss. But I've been here at Caesars longer than I was in Goss. So it kind of puts it in perspective, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, I mean, there were plans to reform a few years ago. Is that sort of?
No, I think, you know, I'm done. I never really say this, but I'm completely done with that. I'm not going to ask the others to do any more. Like, when you come out, like I did last year, and I sang at the Royal Albert Hall, and you come out, you don't think, oh, I wish I could be doing Wembley with Goss. I don't have that feeling. I was like, wow, I'm really proud to be with my music, my show, at one of my favourite venues in the world, and it will always be one of my favourite venues in the world, which is the Royal Albert Hall. And you don't suddenly, I don't think, oh, you know, I wish I had an extra 5,000 people. You know, it's still a very big venue, and it's a prestigious venue, and you're there, you're singing your own music. I'm over, you know, I'm very proud of my brother's success. You know, he makes movies, he's a great actor. Craig has gone on and done great things in business and as a manager. Very, very proud of both of them. But I was the singer of that band, and I'm not going to ask my bass player or my drummer whether I can sing those songs anymore. If you want to hear them, come and see my show. Because I sang those songs, and I'm going to continue to sing those songs without the permission of two of my bandmates.
Sure.
So I think we should have done an outrageous summer tour, because we always put on a spectacle back then. It would have been a good experience, but I'm more into my own journey now. I'm making 2 more records this year.
Yeah, what's happening then?